Hey, everybody, it's Jeremy Osterberger with Big Magazine. Today, we're talking to Ben Brubeck, Government Affairs VP with Associated Builders and Contractors, ABC, and Brandon Maubill, Strategic Development Manager at Performance Contractors. Brandon is also former chairman of the ABC Greater Houston chapter. Hey, welcome, Ben and Brandon, and we appreciate you giving Big Magazine some of your time.
Hey, thanks,
Thank you for having us on the program.
Yeah, so look, guys, in November of 2021, the U.S. Department of Labor, OSHA, issued what's called a Healthcare Emergency Temporary Standard, or ETS. It mandated that workers of businesses with 100 or more employees either get vaccinated, or submit a negative COVID test weekly to enter the workplace. After the losing Supreme Court case in January of this year, the agency has since withdrawn the mandates, and OSHA has also asked the U.S. courts to dismiss the dozens of lawsuits from states, including private businesses, religious groups, and trade associations related to the mandate. One of the unsigned opinions summarized the ruling in this way: although Congress has indisputably given OSHA the power to regulate occupational dangers, it has not given the agency the power to regulate public health more broadly. Ben, the Supreme Court decision was obviously a blow to the Biden administration's vaccination strategy. What was ABC's role in that legal outcome?
Well, ABC heard from our membership loud and clear early on that this was problematic, and they had a lot of concerns with the OSHA ETS rule from a practical perspective as well as from a legal perspective. And so ABC filed with our Alabama chapter a petition for review with the U.S. Court of Appeals in the 11th Circuit in November. And we were one of the many groups that filed lawsuits in various courts across the country. These cases ended up getting consolidated into a decision in the 6th Circuit. And meanwhile, what they call a stay had been put in place against the OSHA ETS rule. And so from there, the 6th Circuit heard the case and decided to vacate this stay that had been put in place in the 5th Circuit. And then that was appealed to the Supreme Court. As you mentioned, in January, the Supreme Court reinstituted the stay, which was applauded by ABC and provided great relief to our membership. ABC had filed an emergency appeal to the Supreme Court in that case as well. So we were watching this very closely, and we're pleased with the decision, although it's not over yet. The Supreme Court directed the 6th Circuit to hear the merits of the case. So there's a chance that the loser of that case could appeal back to the Supreme Court again. And that, of course, it would, create additional uncertainty. Although from the opinions of the justices in this initial decision by the Supreme Court, I think they leave a pretty clear roadmap that they're not for the OSHA ETS rule as it was written.
Right. Hey, Brandon, tell us what a ruling in favor of forced vaccinations would have meant for the industrial construction community.
Well, Jeremy, in a time of already heightened labor shortages and pressure on the workforce, we would have frankly lost a large percentage, if not a majority of our workforce overnight. A lot of our industrial craft people, our commercial craft people are adamantly against getting vaccinated for whatever reason, whether it's religious or personal or whatever it is. And they were adamant that they weren't going to get vaccinated. And so the supply chain issues, I think, would have been even further exacerbated as people left that workforce. The construction issues, the cost of construction would have gone up even higher. And so it would have been a huge impact on construction users, hospital systems and chemical plants and oil refineries and all those things that we rely on for our day-to-day life to get projects built. And it would have been a hit to us to just be able to stay in business.
Right. So Brandon, what will we see? And I guess I'll start with Brandon, and Ben, if you want to add to this, what will we see at the state level going forward in relationship to, this Supreme Court ruling?
Well, we're here in Texas, Jeremy, you and I. Ben's up in DC. I think on the state level, this is not going to happen in the state of Texas. I think Governor Abbott's made it very clear, and Governor Abbott was endorsed by ABC 2 weeks ago. And so we're very proud to endorse and continue to stand behind Governor Abbott. And so I think he's made it very clear that vaccine mandates and things of that nature are not going to happen in Texas. He doesn't want to shut down business in the state of Texas. And so we're very thankful for that. And for the rest of the country, it's kind of a who knows approach. It's going to go governor by governor.
Right. Yeah, that's what we're going to see from here. So.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too. And we're we're seeing different states take different approaches. Some are starting to mandate vaccines on state contracts for contractors.
Mm.
Others have policies in place that don't allow any vaccinations, and that's creating some confusion for the business community. And the other storyline we're watching closely is a federal contractor vaccine mandate requirement by the Biden administration, which was also frozen as a result of the lawsuit filed by ABC and other states in one of the Georgia courts. And right now that's under review, but there's a stay that's been put in place, and that probably won't be resolved until the probably April or so, at least after arguments are heard in April. And that's a vaccine mandate policy. There's no testing policy in that rule. That only applies to federal contractors, regardless of size. And so we're concerned that there could be a poor ruling at the end of the rainbow on that case. But again, I think the Supreme Court's showed their hand a little bit with this previous decision. But one of the other things we were hearing all over from our contractors as they tried to comply with the OSHA ETS rule is a lack of testing. If you were to require tests of your employees weekly, there just weren't enough tests available to do that at that time, and seems to still be the case. So if things go back to where they had been, or more states require testing or vaccination, the testing is a big concern for industry.
And Jeremy, on the federal contractor mandate, I just want to kind of toot Ben's horn here because he isn't, but ABC was a major driving force in that stay. So when that lawsuit was first filed against the federal government, it was done by several states' attorneys general, and there was a big question on whether or not they would have standing. When ABC and one of our chapters joined in on that lawsuit, immediately we had standing. And because ABC represents contractors across the United States, the judge was able to issue a nationwide stay instead of a regional stay just in his district court. And so it's because of Associated Builders and Contractors that contractors working on federal job sites today are not required to mandate vaccines for their employees. ABC had a huge role in that and was really out in front. We were the first association to jump on that, and really were trailblazers there. And so, Ben deserves a lot of credit as being one of the people driving that on the ABC side.
Thanks, Brandon. It's definitely a team effort across the board. So appreciate that.
Yeah, no, thanks for kind of laying that out for us, Brandon and Ben, for explaining that. So Brandon, I guess I'll go to you with this. Many private institutions have and will continue to require vaccinations, but what are we seeing more in the heavy industrial construction community? And I know you're probably speaking primarily for the Gulf Coast, but, also nationally, what are we seeing as far as, private companies still moving forward with some requirements?
Jeremy, I can't talk about individual clients, but I would tell you that for every client, there's a different solution. Some owners are encouraging employees to get vaccinated through things like raffles or bonuses or safety awards. Some are doing nothing. Some have some level of requirement. I don't believe any site we're currently working on has a blanket, everyone, 100% mandate. But a lot of our owners are trying to encourage us to encourage our employees to get vaccinated, but it's really on a site by site.
Right. I would imagine their safety professionals, their EH&S mandates may be different, based on whatever their sites are requiring.
That's right.
Okay. And, Brandon, have you seen, refineries and petrochemical plants maybe lower their expectations from the contractor community? Have you seen a shift, maybe, obviously from 2020, but even in the past, like maybe 6 to 12 months,
Jeremy, honestly, that's kind of been a roller coaster. As new variants have come out, we've seen a weakening of requirements and then a strengthening of requirements. And even in the last few weeks, we've seen some owners get a little more stringent, some owners get a little less stringent. So it's really been a case-by-case basis of the owners, safety professionals, their corporate leadership of what their desires are, and even things of, where the company's headquartered. If they're headquartered in the United States versus Asia or Europe or somewhere else, you may get some different things. And so it's definitely case by case. There's no blanket for the industry right now.
Yeah, and I would be interested to hear too, even outside of our immediate industry, what about in auto and some of the, new energy that we're seeing, energy transition, you know what I mean? How different it is upon those organizations as it is to, what we would call traditional oil and gas, construction, refining, petrochemical construction. So.
Yep.
So, I guess, Ben, over to you. Although the court ruling blocked, the mandate for businesses, it did allow a vaccine mandate to stand for medical facilities that accept, Medicare and Medicaid, payments. Ben, what do you think about that decision, kind of from the perspective of a labor association? I kind of open in that question.
Yeah, there was a third case, which you referenced there,
Right.
that was about whether healthcare institutions getting Medicare, Medicaid can require vaccines and put in a similar type of provision that they were trying to apply to all employers with more than 100 employees. And the Supreme Court actually agreed with the government. They said that you can do that. It was a narrow decision, but they did say that. And we had heard already that a lot of healthcare clients were already requiring vaccines or masking or a combination of all of those things, and in compliance with local health rules as well. And a lot of that is because in healthcare, a lot of that work is being done in a hospital while there's vulnerable patients around, and you can kind of understand some of the logic behind that. And I think the Supreme Court decided that, look, this is within the wheelhouse of OSHA and protecting employees in a healthcare facility. So there seemed to be some sort of differential that they determined there. So that's interesting. And look, a number of clients are doing this on private work anyway. So I think contractors are doing the best they can to make their clients happy. And besides just the vaccine requirements, they've always been using a variety of safety and health tactics to keep their workers safe. I mean, the construction industry was briefly shut down in a number of states when the pandemic happened, and there was no vaccine available. But then things opened up once the construction industry could demonstrate that they had some good safety methods and mitigation strategies. And frankly, a lot of construction workers have already been using the correct safety gear already and have strong safety programs. So we were one of the industries that was able to adapt pretty quickly and get back to work and help rebuild America, which was something that I know ABC and our contractors across the country were really glad that elected officials didn't shut everything down. But some states did shut things down, and it was a mess. And so, we're hoping that we never get back to that position should new variants emerge.
Right. Look, guys, great point. Before we wrap up, Ben, I want to give you some time. Anything else you'd like to mention in this conversation? We covered a lot. I just want to give you a chance to sort of, wrap it up in a bow.
No, I appreciate the opportunity to share, ABC's involvement in this. And I will say that ABC is strongly encouraging our members to get their employees vaccinated, encourage vaccinations. They do work with respect to reducing the severity of illness. We've had a number of vaccine drives at ABC chapters and members' job sites. So we are not anti-vaccine. We are just against the laws and rules that are coming out of the administration and states and localities that are really a bridge too far. So just want to make that perfectly clear for everybody.
Absolutely. Brandon, anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Well, Jeremy, I just want to put out there that this is the reason that organizations like ABC and ABC in particular exist. And, to protect our rights as contractors, to protect our ability to do safe, profitable work above all. And so, I get asked a lot of times by people around Houston, man, you spend a lot of time with ABC. Why do you do that? And this is it. This is why. We couldn't afford the attorneys that we would need to hire if not for ABC being out there and us being able to do this collectively. And so just really proud to be a part of this organization and to see what it's done on these court cases over the last few months.
Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, your time is of so much value to us. Brandon, always great to see you. Ben, pleasure to meet you through virtual. Look forward to shaking your hand here in the future. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, and just love to have you both back on at any time.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Look, everyone, follow ABC National at abc.org and learn more about ABC Greater Houston at abchouston.org. As always, we're so grateful for our audience. Please like and share this recording with colleagues. And for more industries, videos, webinars, and podcasts, visit bicmagazine.com. Remember, everyone, it's what we do together that counts.